Welcome to Alberta Conservation Association's Harvest Your Own podcast, the resource for everything hunting, navigating through the field, the butcher shop, and the kitchen. Life is all about great food. Let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad Fenson, an avid outdoor enthusiast who has worked as a freelance journalist, photographer, and public speaker for over 3 decades. I have hunted, fished, and foraged all my life and hope to share my passion for the outdoors. Along the way, I want to encourage everyone to harvest wild proteins and enjoy the satisfaction of providing the next meal for your family. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire individuals to get outdoors and create a connection between food, health, and your future meals. Welcome to Harvest Your Own. Today we have a special guest from Southern Alberta, a young lady that started hunting in recent years, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her journey. Welcome, Dez Flasch. How are you doing today, Dez?
I'm pretty good. What about you?
Good. The weather's warming up, and it feels like a good time to get outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and your family spend a lot of time in the outdoors?
Yeah, every summer we go on like 2-week camping trips. So.
Yes, it's a great way to experience the outdoors. It's one of our family favorites, and even midwinter, my girls are asking me to start making plans to go camping already. So it's a great activity for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you get out and do some other things with the family? You do any shooting, stuff like that?
Yeah, we go shooting often, usually nearing like September, because that's when deer hunting season is.
Yeah, it's always good to practice before it opens up. It makes you more accurate and helps with your breathing and your strategy and how to engage the trigger, everything else, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you do an awful lot with your family, from summer camping to shooting. Does the rest of your family hunt, or does anyone in your family hunt?
Just me and my dad right now, but I think my sister, when she's old enough, will probably start hunting too.
Right. Now, do you think that you've had an influence on that? Does she want to hunt because you've gone out?
I don't really know. Maybe.
Hard to tell some days, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What created your initial interest in hunting? What do you think caught your attention and made you want to try it in the first place?
Probably when I went gopher shooting with my dad. Like, I don't remember when, but he took me out gopher shooting, and it was really fun.
Yeah, shooting a 22 or a pellet gun?
Yeah, a 22.
Yeah, it's a great caliber to learn with. There's not a lot of recoil, and you can use probably a gun rest or a bench, or were you shooting freehand?
Can't really remember. I think we just used fence posts.
Yeah, that's the good old-fashioned way. That's how I learned how to shoot gophers too, was off the fence post or off the fence itself, just to have something to steady the gun on. And obviously, living close to the prairie regions, you have lots of gophers around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to get going. Do you recall what you had to do to get ready to start hunting?
Start hunting for the first time?
Yeah. Do you remember taking your hunter education course and stuff like that?
Yeah, I studied a lot. I have like a whole notebook somewhere still. And yeah, it was kind of hard.
Did you take it in school, or did you take a separate class, or did you do it online?
I did it online.
Yeah. And did you have someone go through it with you, or did you do it all on your own?
I mainly did it on my own, but I had my dad, of course, to help me out with some of the like minor stuff.
Right. It's always good to have somebody basically looking over your shoulder, the same as when we go hunting, someone to help you through it, answer any questions you have. But how long did it take you to do the online course?
Probably around a month and a half.
Oh, wow. So took your time, one chapter at a time, one topic at a time, and just worked your way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great way to do it. It's not a race, is it? That's the nice part about doing the online course. You can start it whenever you want, pick it up. You can still go away on a camping trip in the summer, come back and do some more. But you obviously did it with the intent of getting out in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Do you remember what your favorite part was about hunter education? Did you have a part that stood out as more fun or more interesting?
I remember it was cool to learn about, like, how to identify different animals.
Yes, and that's important for all hunters, isn't it? And it's not always easy. Tell me, we should ask you, what do you hunt? Do you hunt birds, big game, or everything?
I do bird hunting, or, like, I just got into that last summer. And then I've deer hunting, too. I've shot 2 deer now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about your first deer hunt? Where did you go? Who took you out? What happened?
I can't exactly name the exact spot we went out or the region, but my dad took me out, and I think we were with some other people, and I ended up shooting a small doe somewhere like almost. Okay, what happened is we were like driving around all day. We didn't find anything really. And then, like, just before the sun was down and before we weren't allowed to shoot, we found this small group of deer, and I ended up finally getting a doe.
Nice. Sometimes you have to be patient to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When it's not hunting season, it seems like they're everywhere, and when you're looking for one, they can be difficult to find.
Yeah.
What kind of gun were you using?
I can't remember.
No.
Sorry.
No worries. It's probably a smaller caliber rifle that didn't have a lot of recoil. It was easy to shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Do you remember how far your shot was?
Not exactly, but I remember it not being too far.
Right.
Maybe like 75 yards.
Well, that's a big accomplishment for a first deer. Congratulations. Do you remember your second deer anymore?
I shot her on a hillside when we were out. It had actually been the second day because we went out the first day, drove all around, found nothing, went back to a hotel or something, went back out, and then we found a small group of deer on someone's property. I can't remember who. And finally got a doe on a hillside.
Oh, nice. Was it easy to get out?
No. She was like really big and she had a lot of fat on her.
Yeah. So you had to work extra hard to get her back to the truck.
Yeah.
But that's a good reason why you should take Dad along, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. What did you take for gear? Did you have backpacks, or did you have a sleigh, or did you just pull the deer out on the grass, or was there snow? How did you get things done?
My dad had this harness thing, and we also had a sled.
Did both of you work at it? Was it hard work for two of you?
It was just my dad because I was carrying all the guns and stuff.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Have you got plans for this fall?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get my first buck this fall.
Yeah. And are you hoping for a whitetail or a mule deer?
Mule deer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been putting in for the draws?
I don't think we have yet. Maybe.
Yeah, they'll come up a little bit later in the spring, but yeah, mule deer are on draw in most areas of the province, and otherwise you could buy a whitetail tag for most regions in the south as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you also mentioned you did a little bit of bird hunting last year. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. I went to a program with, I think, ACA, and it was like a pheasant shooting thing, and I got 2 pheasants there, and they just like released them into a field sort of thing.
Yeah. Was that at the Tabor Pheasant Festival at the Novice Shoot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. That's a pretty good opportunity there.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened. How did they treat you at the Novice Shoot? What do they do?
It was good. The first thing they do is they make sure you can shoot your gun, and they just make you shoot clay birds, and then you can go out and finally shoot pheasants.
Good. And when the birds come up, you didn't have any trouble hitting them after practicing on the clays?
Well, not really. I kind of had some trouble with it, but eventually I got 2.
Awesome. That's really good. Yeah, pheasants are a
Mhm.
great species to start with, and that novice hunt at the Tabor Pheasant Festival is a great way to introduce somebody to wing shooting. Did you know anybody else there, or was it just did you go down with Dad, or how did it happen?
I went with my dad, and he knew some people from his company
Yep.
and like other companies.
Very good. So have you been out for ducks and geese at all, or is it just upland birds?
We went out on a big hunt. I can't remember where again or with who. I wrote an article about it somewhere.
Yeah.
We went out and we went in a blind and we did duck and goose shooting.
It's fun. There can be lots of action, not all the time, but normally on a bird hunt, there's a lot more shooting than when you go deer hunting, isn't there?
Yeah.
I always tell people I like to add a little bit of bird hunting in throughout the deer season just to have a little bit more action and keep things exciting. If it's still around, if the birds are still there.
Yeah, that's what my dad does.
Yeah. So at school, do you have any other friends or classmates that hunt?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
So do you ever get a chance to talk about hunting with some of your friends?
Sometimes I'll tell them about stuff that I've done and show them pictures, but they don't really understand it.
Right. Sometimes that makes it challenging, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, for people that understand hunting and get into it, it becomes a passion and something they love to do. It's a great experience, but unless you've been out there and tried it, it's really hard to explain that to somebody or even understand it.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy eating wild game?
Yeah, I think it's yummy.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's one of our favorites too. Do you remember eating wild game before you started hunting? Did the family often have deer or stuff around the house all year?
Yeah, we would have deer because my dad would go out and get deer all the time, and then sometimes we would get like moose or elk from friends.
Yep. So how does it feel when you have supper and you know that you're the one that provided the meal?
Feels great. Like,
Yeah.
it's very like a proud moment, I guess.
Good. And do you actually do some of the cooking too?
No.
No? So what's your favorite way to eat deer meat?
Deer meat, probably putting it like as a sausage.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. That's one of our favorites too. We make lots of sausage here, and we probably have sausage once or twice a week. What's your favorite wild game meal, like dinner overall? Is it always sausage, or do you have steaks, roasts, or other things that you do?
We do like with the grouse and partridge. We're gonna have that tonight, I think, and that's always really good. But I really like the duck. It has a weird taste to it, but I think it's good.
Yes, duck is very good, and you know what? Even domestic duck tastes a little bit different. The fat's very rich, and gives it a unique flavor. So everything's supposed to have different flavors. It wouldn't be very interesting if everything tasted the same. And deer is a little bit different than moose and elk and all the rest of it. And so, same when you add in all the birds. There's lots of variety you can have for meals and dinners during the year.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for other young ladies that might be thinking about going hunting and aren't sure if they should try it or not?
Well, I think as long as you're like comfortable with killing an animal, 'cause that's what it is, then you should definitely try. Because even if you don't like it, it's still an experience that a lot of people should have.
Yes,
in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot more to it than just harvesting an animal. I find that when you're out hunting, you get to see things, a lot more things than what you ever do when you're just driving down the road or walking through a park. You see a lot more animals and tracks, and you see how animals interact with each other. And it's a much bigger experience overall, isn't it?
Yeah, and also you get to like have a sort of respect for these animals and the wildlife that no one else will really have, in my opinion.
Yes, it teaches you a lot about them, and once you understand them and learn more about their behavior and their interaction even amongst themselves, it makes it a lot more interesting. And, for some people, they don't understand how you could still harvest an animal after getting to know them better. But, harvest isn't always the best thing about the hunt, but it is when we have the food to bring home and put on our table. So some people have troubles with it and struggle a little bit, but, the more you go out, the less struggle there is. It's easier to harvest a deer because you know what the end use is going to be and what the enjoyment's going to be from that animal.
Yeah, and like most people are eating cow and stuff anyways, and it's not really any different when it comes into terms of like eating it.
That's right. That's a very good point, is if you're a meat eater, whether you go out and get it yourself or buy it in a store, it's still an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's your dad do to make your hunting experience more interesting or easier?
Well, he has a lot of good equipment because of the company he works for.
Yep.
And he knows a lot of like landowners, so we have a lot of access to a lot of land, which is nice.
Do you ever go with him to the door to ask for permission?
I have like once or twice, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And were you nervous or were you excited?
Kind of a mix of both.
I think that's what most hunters feel. There's an awful lot of people that get very nervous about asking for permission. So I think it's a great thing to learn early on in your hunting life and your career, because the more comfortable you get with knocking on a door and asking somebody for permission, the more places you're going to have to hunt in your life. So I think it's a great skill to learn. And if your dad's taking you to the door and introducing you to how to do it properly, I think that's a great way to learn.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the more like important things about hunting, because if you don't have land, you're probably going to have to go up to the like crown land, which is hard to hunt on.
Yeah, it can be.
If you find anything.
Yeah, it can be more challenging, although some species, they're, like moose and stuff, you're probably going to find a lot in the forested areas. But if you're hunting deer on the farmland, it's certainly an advantage, and being able to ask for permission sure opens up a lot of country that you can access.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a landowner say no, or did they always tell you could go hunting?
I haven't had any. Oh, once we were driving back from a hunting trip, and my dad saw some. It was when I was younger. He didn't get anything that hunting trip.
Yep.
And he saw some deer in a field, and he went up to ask the landowners if he could shoot them. But they said no because they had like cattle in their field.
Yes. Well, and that's all about respect for people that own the land, right? Sometimes they have reasons they don't want people, and sometimes they welcome you with open arms and embrace what you're doing. So you do run into both, and if you don't knock on doors, you're not going to find out one way or the other.
Yeah.
What else does Dad do to make the trips fun and exciting? Does he pack lunch or snacks or anything like that?
Yeah, he brings a lot of snacks and food to eat along the way because we're out there all day pretty much, unless we get something early, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, normally if you get something early, there's still somebody else that could hunt. Like I'm sure if you shoot a deer, your dad still has a tag, you could continue on.
Yeah.
And what about clothes?
But
Do you pack your own clothing when you get ready to go out?
Yeah. My dad will like tell me what to pack, but I'll go pack it.
Yeah, because that can be an important part of every journey, is being comfortable and prepared for different weather and temperatures, or rain or snow and different things, and being warm and comfortable is a big part of enjoying it.
Mhm.
And what about binoculars? Do you have binoculars to use?
Yeah, we have a couple of pairs. Probably from Loophole. I don't know what brand actually.
Yes, I'm guessing they're Loophole. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good optics to start with and use for the rest of your life. What else does Dad do to make it fun and exciting?
Well, we learned that there's a small little bird, I think partridges, that fly around and you're allowed to shoot them. He just like brings a 22 because you can't get very close to them with a shotgun.
Yeah, not always. Sometimes they see you coming from a long ways off.
Mhm.
Yeah, partridge are very good eating, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah. Does your sister ever come with you on the trips?
Not yet, but I'd imagine she'd probably start.
Yeah. What about Mom? Does she ever join you?
No, she's
No?
not very interested in that stuff from what I've seen, but she does like shooting.
Yep. And she enjoys eating it.
Yeah,
Yep. So that's,
and cooking it.
that's an important part of it. Sometimes within family dynamics, some people want to hunt, some don't, but as long as everyone understands it and you can utilize it, it's all right to not want to go out. Not everyone has to.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what about cutting up your own meat? Do you do it yourself or do you take it into a butcher?
We take it into a butcher usually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do your own skinning and stuff? Have you skinned a deer out?
Not yet, but I have I skinned my own pheasant.
Right.
Or not skinned it, but like plucked it, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know
good.
what it's called.
Well, very good. It sounds like you're well underway in terms of having a successful hunting career ahead of you. You've shot a couple deer, a number of birds. It sounds like you get out and shoot lots, which is actually very valuable. Anyone that wants to hunt, the more shooting you do, the higher your success rate's going to be when you do finally find something.
Mhm.
So, would you consider yourself a good shot?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And you get out target shooting quite often, or is it normally more gophers?
Usually we go target shooting because at my dad's work they have like a range.
Yeah.
We just go down there.
Oh,
Sometimes
good.
we'll go outside though.
Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about your hunting experiences and what you plan on doing in the future?
Not that I can really think of right now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us on Harvest Your Own. And if you ever want to learn more about a specific species or hunting or different things, you can always check out the website, harvestyourown.ca.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This podcast was made possible by Alberta Conservation Association and the Harvest Your Own community. If you're interested in harvesting your own food, there's a comprehensive collection of information to gain insight and knowledge. Head to the field, harvest your own protein, prepare it, and taste the results. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a library of information from getting started and geared up to processing, butchering, and cooking wild game to make the connection between health and food.
Well, second part of this episode is having Dad on, Troy Flasch. We just had a chat with Des, and she seems like a very cheery young lady that loves the outdoors and time with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So she told us all about her first and second deer and some of the birds she's hunted, and her favorite thing is getting out in the summer and camping. So it sounds like you have family activities that sort of, lead into hunting for anyone that would be interested.
Absolutely. I always grew up a lot around the outdoors, but had never been in the hunting space before. So the hunting portion of it is new to me in my adult life. But for my kids, it's pretty neat because it's all they know.
Right.
So they've been raised with it and raised around firearms and animals and harvesting animals and enjoying them at the dinner table. So it's pretty neat to see them coming up a lot differently than I did.
Yeah, absolutely. When did you start hunting, Troy?
About 12 years ago.
Yep. So
I was fortunate to get employed by Korth Group, and that's basically where I pulled my first trigger on a firearm and was introduced to the whole world of firearms and the industry and hunting, and fell in love with it immediately. It really brought me back to my roots.
Oh, good. That's
being out the outdoors.
Yeah, nothing like jumping into the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, I've been drinking from the fire hydrant since the start and haven't stopped to this day, and I don't think it ever will stop. As you can appreciate, most people I'm able to be around have been hunting since they were my kids' age, so
right.
I'll be catching up for a long time.
I often say that hunting to a lot of people is a hobby, a pastime, something they do a couple times a year, but for some people it becomes their lifestyle. like it really does help define you in terms of what you think about people you associate with, what you talk about, and what you serve at dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter and I, she's become my hunting buddy. So it's a different level of relationship with her.
Right. Has it changed your relationship at all?
Absolutely, I think it has. It's certainly something that we bond together with. My wife obviously is very close to my daughters as well, and this is kind of our time. We have gone hunting as a family, but for the most part, it's been Desiree and I. And my younger daughter, Dayla, turns 12 this year, so she's really eager and anxious to get that experience as well. So those will always be times, I think, that we'll share together between me and them and just on a one-on-one basis. And then, of course, if there's opportunities to bring the family, we will. But that brings a whole different logistical matter to it.
Right, yeah. No, I think it's wonderful. Like, I've raised my kids hunting as well, and, we have twin girls that are going to be 5 here soon, and they've been going out with us since they were 18 months old on bird hunts, and they help skin moose and deer and all the rest of it. And I have little doubt that they're going to be hunters in the future, and if they don't, that's fine too. But it is a great way of life, and not everybody has to do it or participate. But when they do it, it sort of pulls at the heartstrings a little bit to have that close to you and enjoy the passions that you do.
Absolutely, and part of it that I really enjoy watching is Desiree's passion for animals in general. Sure, she has no problem aiming a firearm at one if the hunting opportunity is there for her, but she is fascinated by animals. She understands that hunting's brought her closer to animals than she could ever have been without it. Her experiences, her intimacy with them has only grown stronger, and her interest in the harvest of the animal afterwards, and just asking questions and understanding the species, and poking and prodding at it, and really learning and investing herself into it is really neat to see, and it just shows a lot of respect for the experience and for what she's doing. Not to mention the fact that you can tell she's very proud to serve her harvest at the table. Yes. That's something she takes a lot of pride in.
Yeah,
when we eat something.
We talked about that. She does, and she said that it's usually a proud moment, and she talked about learning more about wildlife and what she sees in the field, and you could tell that she pays attention when she's out there with you, even in the early years before she was part of the hunter in the family. When she came along to watch, she still has great memories about what she saw in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Spotting and stalking has been something she's enjoyed since the beginning, and like she said, we've done a lot of camping. We live in the forest pretty much all summer. And so through that experience too, there's obviously a lot of wildlife, and we, do our best to find them and explore them and respect them and enjoy them when we can too. So,
right.
And that's been ever since they've been, from the start.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go to the sportsman shows and different things that are put on for people that enjoy the outdoors, and you take kids there that are quite young, and they can go up to some of the booths like the Hunter Ed booth and the Report a Poacher trailer, and they sort of go through the quizzes there, and they know everything, the whitetails from the mule deer, from the antelope, and the different furs and all the rest of it. It's kind of fun to watch kids that have grown up in the outdoors share their experiences and their knowledge, and show people how knowledgeable they are.
Absolutely, and this whole bird hunting opportunity that we got was through Alberta Conservation Association. So that was a very fortunate opportunity for us to take advantage of. And, further to that, Desiree was able to participate in the Tabor Pheasant Festival. So certainly some great opportunities are laid out for the youth in Alberta. I've been there, I've been part of it. It's a fantastic experience. It's safe. It's enjoying for everyone. And it really has an impact on the kids, I think, in a great environment where they can be together and enjoy that energy together to learn and be part of it.
Yeah, that's the novice hunt at the Tabor Pheasant Festival.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really enjoyed the experience there, and Desiree was able to harvest a couple pheasants, and to this day, Dad hasn't yet. So, having said that, that's a lot of neat things that's going to happen between us as well, because there's opportunities that I haven't experienced yet, and we're going to kind of experience them together as she grows as a hunter too.
Right, and people that are interested can learn more about the Taber Pheasant Festival and the Novice Hunt on the Alberta Conservation Association website. And I would imagine you're going to be signing up your younger daughter to participate there this year.
Yeah, very soon. She's eager and excited. She's pretty small, and so we'll get her behind some stuff and hopefully enjoys it. That's actually another good thing because it drags Mom out. Last year, Mom went to Ahia to take some shotgun lessons with Dezirae to get prepared for this bird hunt. So Mom hasn't got into the hunting portion yet, but she has partaken in her share of shooting, so she's starting to enjoy that, and it actually gives her an opportunity when she joined one of the women's youth learning groups
awesome.
At the Ahia Center. So yeah, this year or next, we'll see how Dela is up for it. She'll be participating in that for sure.
Awesome. So, it's strange. I've been down to the novice hunt before, and some people don't consider it, but you're eligible for the novice hunt. You've never shot a pheasant.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually until I got there, and I kind of recognized what was happening around me. So, yeah, it might be something I have to partake in. Yeah. We got really lucky, and we're able to get one on ACA lands as well, in the public lands from one of the releases, which we don't have the dogs, so it's a challenging hunt, needless to say. But Dezirae is able to harvest one that way, so that's where I've spent my time trying to get one, and I still have my hopes that I'll eventually get one that way too.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Proud moments for Dad. What did it mean to you to see your daughter go through these programs and hunter ed and dig in to do the things she needed to do, go to the novice shoot, be successful? How did it make you feel?
I guess there's an element of I'm vicariously living through her. I didn't have those opportunities as a youth. I grew up in the Okanagan and definitely was outdoorsy with respect to water sports and kind of more recreational type activities like that. But wasn't as close to animals and the wildlife as she's able to be part of. I fell in love with all of it ever since I've been introduced to any of it. Every portion of it I enjoy, and there's a lot to it, as you can appreciate. So I've been taking it all in, and she's getting all those opportunities right from the start. And most importantly, she really enjoys it. There's no pressure on them at all, and they are eager to learn, eager to come out with Dad. Be part of it, and they understand the patience it can take, the slow time that it can be, but also the adrenaline and the excitement and the reward of when you finally get the opportunity to have something in front of you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a fantastic experience, and it's just getting started. I mean, they're brand new at it, and so am I. So we've got years ahead to really take it in still.
I think it's a great way to create your own hunting partners and future outdoor companions. I have little doubt that your girls and your wife will enjoy time with you in the field forever. It's just another way to get out and enjoy the great outdoors.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, and I've talked to you about the novice shoot and your family experience a couple times now, and it's been very emotional for you. Like, it was almost overwhelming, everything that has occurred and the help that's out there and the programs and everything else.
It is. The people involved, the volunteers that put these events together, put a lot of time and effort into it. And most importantly, the safety portion of it's incredible, how it's managed, how it's contained to ensure everyone has a great time. And when you see our kids handled in that regard, as they pursue a passion that you're so tied to yourself, it's a fascinating experience to watch it unfold in front of you, and for them to be successful at it. And these people have nothing to give but their time, and there's no other reason why they need to be there. But they understand the industry, they understand the future of our industry is in the hands of ourselves, and they invest their time into it. And it was highly influential, not just for a father watching their kids, but just for myself personally, and how it motivates me maybe to be more part of the community and where I can help out.
Oh, awesome.
And I remember reaching out to ACA and to the AHIA group down in Taber to just give them that extra special thanks for their time and commitment towards it, because it's a well-ran event, and you're sure to have a great time and lots of great learning too. And not only you may be able to harvest pheasant out of it.
You know, Albertans are very lucky. We have an awful lot of opportunity. We have an incredible education force in Alberta with Alberta Hunter Education Instructors Association, and then the programs from ACA and Alberta Fish and Game and Pheasants Forever and all the others. It really does provide a hand up to anybody that wants to get started with the programs that are out there.
Absolutely. I feel myself and my family have only touched the tip of the iceberg with respect to the opportunities that are available to us. So it's something that we look at every year, and time's the only thing that slows us down from being able to get at all of it. So
yeah.
that's we'll get to them eventually as we work our way through, because you're right. For us, we're all brand new still. So every moment and every opportunity in front of us is pretty much a new opportunity to learn and to experience something different.
Right. I got one last question for you, and to me this is the most important, is if you got any words of wisdom or advice for people that have kids and aren't sure whether they should take that step and get them introduced to hunting, or take them hunting, or get them more in the outdoors?
Well, I think you have to commit yourself first and understand, what you're going to get involved with, and appreciate it and enjoy it. That passion and your own desire is going to, flow into your children pretty much. And I think that's the first step, is to believe in it, and then also to motivate you to take the family out and want to show them that experience and maybe build it up to them that they could manage it themselves in the future. I think that's, you have to be able to motivate yourself in order to go out there. It can be a lot of work as well, and that's part of the reward, is all the work that you put into it. So you need to be prepared for that. And I spend a lot of time with my kids to be prepared for that work too. And they've, Dezirae specifically has put that work in, and she's experienced that. It's not all just a casual event, but she's also reaped the rewards of all that hard work. And it's a great learning experience for her. It's great ethics for her. It's a good work ethic for her. And there's a discipline involved. There's a focus, and it's a healthy focus and discipline. And I think that's a very good thing for the kids nowadays with respect to kind of getting away from the electronics and the day-to-day hecticness.
Yeah, there's nothing better than fresh air and outdoors to build character in a person and gain appreciation for what's around us.
Yep, absolutely. Some great times in the truck and on the field, hiking through snow up to our waist at times in those big blind buffs. But that's all part of it. Trying to pull Dezirae out of it,
right? And
just laughing as we go, right, and enjoying it, and
making memories for a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I said, it's just getting started. We're just getting warmed up here with our experiences, and so really looking forward to the future.
Well, congratulations on your success. And I would just like to say, for any dads or moms out there that are considering this, there's lots of help if you want to get started. If you're got children that are interested in the outdoors and you think they lean towards hunting, there's lots of programs with Alberta Hunter Ed, even things like the Novice Shoot, where you can actually go out and experience and decide for yourself if you want to do it again. So no better place to become a hunter and to teach new hunters than Alberta. And you're a prime example of how to do it right.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We hope to inspire people to reconnect with nature and appreciate where your food comes from by harvesting your own. For more information on getting started or to learn specifics about the Field to Fork experience, visit harvestyourown.ca and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Check back often for new material, recipes, and videos that are posted regularly. Please subscribe to Harvest Your Own podcast and take the time to rate and review the show to help us build a dedicated core of passionate hunters as our regular audience. Until next time, embrace the outdoors and all it has to offer. Thanks for joining us.